Hey guys, this is Anne Marie, Bald Girl Will Travel. And in this video, I'm going to share 5 things that you can do to get really great pictures on solo travel. So, who am I? I'm Anne Marie, aka Bald Girl Will Travel, and I'm on a mission to make solo travel accessible and fun for everyone, but especially Black women over 40. And I want to dispel the myth that women over 40 can't be fashionable, comfortable, and still travel teen carry-on. If that is of interest to you, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when another video drops. Also, don't forget to join my Facebook group for fly 40 plus Black women like me who are interested in or love to solo travel. I will leave a link in the description so that you can join if you're interested. So now let's talk about the top 5 things I do to get great pictures on solo travel. I get asked a lot, how do I take really good pictures while I'm by myself traveling, which is how I travel most of the time. And the answer is that there are 5 things that I do on a regular basis to get really great pictures and video while I am on solo travel. Number 1 is master the selfie. I have learned how to take selfies. Now, it's still not something that I think I am the best at, but it's one of the things that I've learned to do. So here's an example of one of my favorite pictures of all time of myself, and it's a selfie. I took this picture in Croatia at the Plivica National Park, which is an amazing park with lots of beautiful waterfalls. And while I was there, I shot this picture. And to this day, it continues to be one of my favorite pictures of myself of all time. So again, yes, you can take really great selfies, but you've got to practice. As with all the steps I'm going to share with you today, you got to practice. You got to know what poses work for you, what angles work for you. You've got to spend time playing with the light. I have found that taking pictures first thing in the morning is the best time. The sun is usually at angles rest of the day that are problematic for me. I'm not a professional photographer, so I usually try to take pictures early in the morning when the sun is low, or later in the evening when the sun is also low. After usually 6 o'clock or before 9 is when I usually try to take pictures. I usually don't like to take pictures outdoors when the sun is really high in the sky between 12 and 3 o'clock. I might shoot video then, but I usually don't like to take pictures because I usually don't get the best result if I try to do it myself. But master the selfie, spend some time just shooting pictures of yourself, having fun, figuring out what works, and then just get a great background and go for it. Just do it until you feel like you're comfortable with it. I find that if you have a really great background, as in the picture I showed you, even if you don't look perfect, it's still going to be a great picture. 2 is probably my favorite way of taking pictures, which is that I use a remote tripod with a Bluetooth, and I just set it up and I take pictures myself. Here's an example of 2 photographs that I've taken of myself that are some of my favorites. As you can see in both of these pictures, I'm not facing the camera. It's one of my favorite poses to take where I'm looking at something and I shoot myself with the tripod, and they usually come out really great. So it's a pose that I have found works for me, so I use it often. But I will also take pictures, side views, front views, it depends. But I just set up my tripod, I use the remote, I figure out what works, I pick the pictures that look the best. If the light is in my favor, I usually get a really good result. So this is one of my favorite ways of taking pictures of myself when I'm on travel. You just set up the tripod wherever you can. You know, as I go out early in the morning, there are not a lot of people there, so I don't worry that someone's going to snatch my camera or something like that. So that's usually when I will do those kinds of pictures. Or sometimes I'm in a short-term rental like an Airbnb that has a great view. Like in that picture with me in the orange dress, I'm in Bali. I was at my Airbnb. I had an amazing view of a rice paddy, and so I just took the pictures there. So those are things that you can do with the remote tripod. The one that I use fits right in my purse. It's small enough to fold down and go into my purse, but tall enough to take good pictures of me. I'm only 5'1", so it works for me. Number 3 is take a tour and ask your guide to take pictures of you. Now, anytime I go to a new place, I always book a walking tour for usually the first or second day that I'm there. I like walking tours because it's a great way for me to learn about a place really quickly from a local person. And you can find walking tours for free, or you can sign up on places like Viator or Get Your Guide or Airbnb to do walking tours. You can also find free walking tours in some cities. They offer free ones, I know, in Florence. You can find them in Rome, other places in Europe, especially in the summer. There are people doing free walking tours, and then you just give them a donation at the end of your choice. So that's a great way to get pictures. I find that guides often take really good pictures because they are asked to take pictures a lot. So they get practice and they usually can take really great pictures. When I was on a tour with a guide in Bali, I have some of the best pictures I've ever had of myself were taken by my guide. Another guide took really great pictures of me in Montenegro. So you can have really great results if you have a guide that knows how to take pictures. Now, all of them are not going to take perfect pictures, but most of them take good pictures. And they definitely take better pictures than number 4, which is ask another solo traveler to take a picture of you. This is the one that I think you get the lowest quality result with. But when all else fails, if you don't have any other way to get a good picture or get any picture, look for somebody who is taking selfies of themselves or has a really nice camera and see if they will take a picture of you in exchange for you taking a picture of them. I find that younger ladies who are taking selfies usually take really great pictures. So I usually try to see if I see someone who's also traveling by themselves, who's shooting a lot of selfies, and then I'll just walk up to them, be polite, say hi, and ask them if they can take a picture of me in exchange for me taking a picture of them. Sometimes they'll say yes, and they won't even need me to take a picture. So that's definitely something worth doing. But I've also had my head cut off in lots of pictures asking random people to do it. So number 4 is the one I will do if I have no other recourse, but it's not one that I use often. But I have had decent pictures taken by solo traveler. Here are a couple. So those, again, they're fine, but they're not my favorites. I think the quality is okay, but it's not the greatest. So again, this is probably one that I don't use as often as the other ones that I'm sharing in this video. Number 5 is my second favorite and the one that I get the best quality from, which is book a photographer. Now, booking a photographer is probably going to be your most expensive method, but it is one that works for me. So I usually budget to book a photographer. I like to find photographers on Airbnb Experience because I find them to be the least expensive when I book them that way. On average, I usually spend $50 to $60 for an hour. I've also spent as low as $35 and had good results. So it really depends on what country you're in and the level of the photographer. But in all of the places that I've booked a photographer, I've had great results. Here are some of my favorite pictures. As you can see, these are really great pictures. I love all of them. Some of them I love more than others, but all of them I feel like I got really great results. And all of them were done by photographers in Lisbon, in Venice, in Florence, as well as in Mexico. The quality is always the best, but of course, it's going to be the most expensive. So that's one that you have to think about whether you have the budget to invest. But again, like I said, my favorite is to bring along my remote tripod, find a good spot, get some good in a good lighted area, get up early in the morning and take my own pictures. But also depending on where I'm traveling, if I want a really high quality result, especially because I use a lot of them for my social media, I will book a photographer, but I usually won't spend more than $55 to $60. So those are the 5 things I do to get really good pictures on solo travel. I hope that they have been helpful to you. I will leave descriptions in the link to the tripod that I use, even though if you've been following me on social media, you've probably heard me talk about this tripod. I love it. I use them. I take them everywhere I go, but I'll leave a link for you guys. So if you're interested in getting one of your own, you can. I will leave a link with my discount code for Viator and also a link for Get Your Guide. So if you want to look into those things for booking tours, I highly recommend them. I especially like Get Your Guide a lot. I find that I've gotten some very reasonable tours using their site, but Viator is also very good and Airbnb Experience is also very good. So all of those are things that you can look at and I'll leave links in the description. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please subscribe, tell a friend, and comment. I'm always interested in hearing what you guys have to say. And if you have other things and methods that you use to get really great solo pictures or pictures while you're on solo travel, I'd love to hear about it. So please definitely share that in the comments, because I may adopt one of them. If it works for you, it might work for me. I'm always looking for new ways to get great pictures when I'm traveling. So thanks for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.